So obviously we get a much smaller box. So we've gone for the midnight black, looks really nice. There's the iPhone. I'm gonna get it set up and then we are going to compare the cameras. We're gonna work out what is the better camera and can this iPhone compete with a proper camera. What's going on, YouTube family? How are we doing? Hope you've all had an incredible week. So I figured I'd do something a little bit different on the channel. Obviously I've always been into tech stuff, so I figured I would share the new iPhone 14 Pro compared to my Sony a6400 with a Sigma lens. I wanted to compare them. I'm pretty certain the iPhone has more versatility. Obviously for things like action mode and vlogging and whatnot, I do believe the iPhone probably wins. This camera's not that great with stabilization, but it is incredible when it comes to talking head videos like this. I'm always getting asked, what camera have you got? What equipment do you use? How do you get the videos looking a certain way? So I figured, right, let's do a video, let's compare, and let's see if the new iPhone 14 Pro can keep up with a professional camera. I've watched other reviews, I'm sure you've seen reviews already, and there are some incredible reviews out there, you know, showcasing how good the camera is. And to be honest, I've only been playing with it for like half an hour and I'm quite surprised. All I have is the usual light, you know, shining the light on me, decent environment, decent background, the usual stuff. I'm recording on this and the audio is coming through the a6400, and then I have the iPhone just above me, which again is recording the same view. It's a little bit higher. You might be able to just see the camera here and the dead cat of the camera. The angles are pretty much the same. Obviously having them there, it kind of cut out the shot. So I've basically got the iPhone just above the camera. And yeah, I figured we'd just do some bits. We'd just go through it. I want to see the comparisons side by side. At the moment, the iPhone 14 is shooting in cinematic mode and it is at 4K, 24 frames per second. The thing I will say is I can't see what the iPhone sees. Whereas obviously with this, it has the flip up screen. I'm aware if I'm in shot, if I'm framing in shot, if my hands are in shot. Right now with the iPhone, I don't know if I'm even in shot. I don't know how far the shot is. Obviously I'm quite aware the different lenses, it can be bigger, it can be smaller and whatnot. Obviously it's more AI that's giving the blur. I'm gonna put these side by side so you can kind of see the difference. Obviously bearing in mind this is on, what F stuff am I on? I'm on f1.4 on the camera. How good they are, how good they compare. I'm interested to know if the iPhone can replace this camera. Can that outperform this? Because this is quite hard to transport. I've been looking at getting a different camera. I've been looking at getting gimbals. I've been looking at getting GoPros for when I'm trying to do the vloggy stuff. Action mode, obviously on the iPhone, again, the versatility. So we're gonna get into all that. Bear with me again, it's like my first tech kind of video, but I'm proper buzzing about it. I'm excited to do this. Just as well, none of these videos are edited with LUTs or anything. They're completely raw. See, another big thing with the iPhone is obviously the audio. You can get an attachment, auxiliary port attachment, and you can plug the Rode microphone into it. And quite a lot of the iPhone tripods now tend to have a cold shoe mount at the top where you can mount the microphone. So in theory, you can just walk around with a Rode mic on that. You can also just get a longer cable. You can boom it across. You know, you can have the mic out of shot, boomed across, Rode mic above you, which is what I do in a lot of videos. And you can just plug it into the phone directly. So you can do that, so there are ways around it. Obviously the microphones never look the prettiest, but again, it comes down to what you're shooting. A lot of people watching this are probably looking to shoot talking head videos like this. So again, like I say, you can hide things so you can't really see them. So that's a benefit. That was with the Rode microphone plugged in. If we now unplug it, this is how it sounds. So this is now just the audio coming directly shot from the iPhone, no microphone attachment, nothing. This is what you get out the box. So again, you can kind of see the difference in audio quality, and it gives you an idea of, you know, how this would work if you were looking to shoot certain videos. One thing I always know myself is sometimes the image quality can be quite bad on a video, but if the audio's good, I'll still listen and sort of watch along. If the audio's rubbish, I won't watch the video. And I remember when I first started on YouTube with an iPhone, back in the day, the iPhone 12 Pro, I think I shot my first video without a mic and it was horrendous. So after that, I got like a cheap lapel mic, and yeah, I think, you know, nowadays there's so many microphone options out there, it's worth having one. So yeah, I would definitely get a microphone. That was shot on the iPhone 14 as well, so I don't know if you notice the difference between this camera and that. Let me know in the comments if you do see a clear difference. I, at this moment in time, haven't seen the difference until I go and edit it and do all that jazz, but I'm really looking forward to editing this to just kind of compare what's what. Like I say, I do feel like the field of depth and whatnot on this camera is going to make the difference quite apparent because the blur is quite natural, whereas I feel like that might be too obvious, but then I could be wrong. And then if we were to run back upstairs without falling over and dropping everything, like I say, you can obviously get gimbals, you can get different lenses with stabilization, and some of the newer Sonys of course have built-in stabilization and whatnot. I believe the original lens, is OSS, so that does have stabilization for this camera, but it doesn't give you that field of depth that I like. Just realised as well, that was at 2.8K, so when you have action mode, you're shot at 2.8K at 30 frames per second. Turn that off, and obviously it's back to 4K 24 frames. So obviously with this as well, you do have slow-mo mode, which is recorded in HD at 240. You can have 720p as well. I'm quite shocked. The previous footage I was shooting at 2.8. So I'm going to put it on 2.0, and you can just see again the difference between a little bit of a lower f-stop and how much more the blur is compared to this. So we will do that now. So we're running 2.0 f-stop on the iPhone 14, and we're now running 1.4 as always on the camera. What do you think? How do you think the difference is? Can you notice, if I wasn't to tag which was which, can you notice which one has perhaps got the better field of depth? Can you notice the AI working on the iPhone to create cinematic mode? Does it look like it's just got a blur around me, or does it actually look blurred? Quite authentic and organic. So here we have two shots. We have one shot on Pro RAW on the iPhone 14, and we have one shot on the camera. Can you tell the difference before I put up which is which? These are completely out the box, out of the camera. There's no editing been done. This is literally post-edit. This is the raw files. Let me know if it's obvious for you to see which is which. For me, I'm pretty shocked by how good this is. It's incredible, to be honest. The fact that you can get this out of a device in your pocket now is mental. Obviously here as well, we can see, like, if we were to zoom in on this picture, right? So this one is the iPhone 14 Pro. If we're to zoom in, look how clear the photo remains even when zoomed in. You know, I was playing around with this earlier. You can literally see all the colors of my eye. You know, you can see everything. So that 48 megapixel camera is really doing a good job here, and it's keeping so much detail, which again, when you're editing, is going to allow you to play with a lot more colors. Coming to my conclusion on the iPhone, I'm very impressed by it. I would suggest that if you already have a camera like me, you probably aren't going to get rid of the camera solely to use this. I believe that the cinematics from a normal camera are still that little bit more above. Obviously, again, this is a phone. Having said that, if you don't have a camera at all, you've got a contract upgrade due, or you're looking at getting a new phone, and you want something that's versatile, that can kind of do a bit of everything, this is all day long, hands down, value for money. You can do so much more with this. We tend to have these in our pockets every day, so it's a much more quick point and shoot, get things done. I think if you've got a decent little tripod with a microphone mount so you get better audio, you just need the adapter to aux auxiliary, I think you'd be well away, to be honest. I feel like action mode, I didn't warrant enough by just running up and down the stairs. The lighting wasn't that great, so it probably doesn't look as good as it is. I was out with it recently, and I was just sort of running around with the kids and that, and it literally looks like you're on a gimbal, which is mental. As for normal video mode as well, again, that's great. Not everybody wants to blur the cinematic effect. The normal video mode is very, very good, as you can see, as is the camera. You know, overall, I think it's an incredible upgrade from my previous iPhone 12. If I'm out and about and I haven't got my camera, then this is going to come in great. It's going to come in clutch, and I will 100% use this. I do think that, you know, camera companies in general, Sony and whatnot, are going to have to really, really up their game in the next couple of, you know, releases and whatnot. Because if phones are doing this now, in a couple of years, phones are just going to absolutely blow. It'll be interesting to see where phones go. But like I said, that's my view, that's my opinion. You might be different. I tried to use it as if I was using it to make videos and whatnot. Obviously, I could have gone out, got better lighting and, you know, photos outside and whatnot. And of course, it is a hell of a lot better again. But I'm using it in an environment where I would use it. I feel like sometimes reviews, they're in such a perfect setup that we can't recreate, perhaps. And obviously, that's not going to benefit you if you're someone that is looking to use this every day or to film, you know, videos for content and whatnot. You need to kind of have an idea of what's it like indoors. Like I say, all this footage is raw, nothing's corrected, it's all completely out the box. Yeah, if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments. I would definitely love to do more content like this. A lot to learn myself in making tech videos. This video took me a lot longer to make, and probably watching it, you probably don't even notice the difference. But it took me a hell of a lot longer to make than usual. But I enjoyed it. I had good fun with it. Tech's a big thing for me. So yeah, if anyone out there is looking to sponsor the channel in any way, shape or form, with any tech gadgety bit, hit me up. I'm looking for a microphone and a boom perhaps for recording videos and whatnot. You know, one of the ones that comes out. Anyone wants to sponsor the channel, my email is in the description. Send me a message and let's work something out. But other than that, I hope you all have an incredible rest of your week. Last week of Q3, let's make it count, and I will catch you all on Sunday's video. Peace and love, gang.